Chapter 209. I want you guys to teach me how I should do things too. This thing isn't simple. If those guys from the Holy Goo sect use this goo to kill people and cultivate, the speed of improvement won't be bad. Sanshi thought of some possibilities, dispersed the seal, and squeezed hard. The black and white goo transformed into a ray of light, like a Taoist painting. Then, it condensed into a pillar of light that landed between his eyebrows and was quickly devoured and refined. Sanshi's body trembled as he felt a pure power surge over. This power was not directly absorbed by him. Instead, it was transformed by the life and death goo in his body before being transmitted to him, making it extremely easy to refine. Good lord, this is even better than the medicinal elixirs. Sanshi was shocked. This was the first time he had absorbed and refined the power of the life and death goo, and he had completely experienced all the benefits. But at this moment, he also clearly sensed that the life and death goo in its body was also growing. F***ck, this thing can also grow. In the future, it can devour other people's power. Can it also devour him? Sanshi was suspicious. He did not think that this thing was really here to help them improve only. After all, this was a goo worm. Others were also raising the same goo worms. When the people who planted these goo wanted to harvest it, they could completely control the goo worms to devour his essence, energy, and spirit. Go ahead. I'm really not afraid of you swallowing me. If you dare to swallow me, I'll kill you. Sanshi sneered in his heart and began to absorb and refine it in peace. Now that the dharmic powers consumed were quickly restored, his cultivation continued to increase. Due to the abundant power contained in the life and death goo, he obtained nascent soul cultivation experience after Yuanzhong failed to possess him. Therefore, he did not have any bottlenecks to conquer from now to the nascent soul realm. With a thought, a light flashed in his middle danshan and the second golden core began to condense. If the first golden core was a breakthrough in the realm and a qualitative change, then the second golden core was more of a quantitative change. As long as he had enough resources, he could quickly condense other golden cores. He had the life and death goo of 5 golden core cultivators. After absorbing and refining them, they helped him condense to more golden cores. This process only took him half a month. There was still a lot of time before the mission Liju gave him. This time, Sanshi did not go out to cause trouble. He planned to use the contribution points of the Heavenly Ghost sect to exchange for various spirit pills and medicines and begin his seclusion cultivation. After leaving his cave abode, his first stop was the Heavenly Ghost sect's elixir pavilion. Seeing him, the expressions of everyone here changed drastically. Why is this guy here? The sect gave him more than 1 million contribution points. Once he comes, many of the medicinal pills here will be exchanged. Hurry up, or we might not be able to exchange for it later. The group of people discussed for a while and immediately seized the time to exchange for medicinal pills. Looks like I've become a famous person in the sect. Sanshi chuckled and walked to the exchange window. He slammed the token on the table. Exchange for everything I can exchange for now. Hearing Sanshi's words, everyone, who was already prepared, still had dark expressions. Under normal circumstances, the resources that the sect could exchange for were provided according to everyone's general needs. It would not be too much or too little. However, at some critical moments, such as when people with a large number of contribution points exchanged items for them at the same time, it would cause a drain of resources. If there were too many people exchanging for resources, it would naturally be completely insufficient when others wanted to exchange for it. This person had more than 1 million contribution points and was richer than any of the supreme elders. Once he starts to exchange crazily, they would probably face a situation where the supply could not meet the demand within 10 years. The face of the elder in charge of exchanging items twitched. Blood-robed elder, are you really exchanging everything? Some of the items are of lower grades and are useless to you. I like it, can't he? Sanshi pursed his lips. Cut the crap, hurry up and exchange it for me. Ow, alright, the upper limit that an individual can exchange for is 10% of the inventory. I'll exchange for you according to this ratio. The deacon elder asked change. Sanshi nodded. An elder at the side couldn't stand it anymore and said, unhappily, blood-robed elder, don't you know what 10% of the inventory means? Our entire sect has more than 10,000 official disciples. Usually, There are at least 3,000 people who come to exchange for resources on the regular. You're equivalent to directly occupying 300 people's resource exchange slots. Moreover, this will affect all the outer sect, inner sect, core disciples and elders. What does it have to do with me? If you have so many contribution points, won't you exchange them like this too? Song Shi shrugged. He was not afraid of offending these guys. In his opinion, these contribution points were just a bunch of numbers. At the very least, he had to obtain the items first before they were of use to him. Otherwise, what was the use of just a bunch of numbers? If anything happened, he might have nothing left. Why don't you think of others at all? That's right, everyone's cultivation resources are already not abundant to begin with. Once you're done exchanging, we'll have to wait. You're a supreme elder, so you should have the morals of a supreme elder. Some people couldn't help but criticize. If they were just 1 or 2 people, they definitely wouldn't dare to speak like this. But now, there was a group of people with the same thoughts, hence nobody was afraid to speak their mind. Did I ask you to teach me how to do things? Song Shi snorted coldly. A powerful aura erupted, immediately making some people shut their mouths. However, some people were not frightened. They were either core disciples or core elders, and their cultivation levels were not much worse than his. Blood-robed elder, are you trying to overwhelm us with your strength? Shichianya walked out of the door and questioned loudly. To everyone present, you're just a newcomer. How can you be so arrogant the moment you arrive? A perfected golden core cultivator said earnestly. Blood-robed elder, don't go overboard. You have to leave yourself a way out. If you have any objections, we can go out and talk about it. Song Shi glanced at the deacon who received him. Don't just stand there. When I come back after talking to them, I hope that the things I want are ready. Yes. Blood-robed elder. The deacon was sweating profusely as he replied. He was only at the Foundation establishment realm, so how could he withstand Song Shi's powerful aura? Naturally, he did not dare to offend him. Song Shi sneered. Come out if you want to teach me a lesson. Many people's faces darkened. What was wrong with him? They were just arguing. Who said that they were really going to fight? They thought. We were just complaining. Did you actually take it seriously? This person is really rash. He actually really wanted to fight. I think has just unwilling to accept everyone's opinion. Who would like such a person? Song Shi frowned when he heard that. Don't ** King hide in the dark while saying that. If you want to attack, come at me directly. Furious, Shichianya said to the figure beside him. Senior brother Luo, are you just going to watch him act arrogantly here? Beside Shichianya, a perfected golden core cultivator stepped out. He was thin and had dark skin, making him look like a monkey. There was a flash of blood-red light in his eyes, and his aura was like a rainbow. Blood-robed elder, you've just become a grand supreme elder. As your disciple, I really want to experience your power. Let's see what else a grand supreme elder like you can do besides being good at escaping. Then I shall let you experience it. Song Shi chuckled and glanced at this person. He did not know who he was, but he was not surprised. After all, he had just arrived and there were many people he had not seen before. He said, Who are you? Tell me your name. Core disciple. Luochi. The latter replied coldly, I happen to be exchanging for an especially important pill. If you know what's good for you, don't exchange. Then you'll have to beat me first. Song Shi took another look at this person. He was clearly only at the Golden Core realm, but he actually gave him some pressure. It seemed that this person was indeed not simple. He took a step forward, leaving behind an afterimage. He had already arrived outside. Luo Kai followed closely behind. Senior brother Luo has made his move. I wonder if he can teach this person a lesson. I'm afraid it'll be very difficult to teach him a lesson. I heard that this person fought with the Black Mountain Ghostly Emperor in the Netherworld. Have you forgotten that senior brother Luo once killed a nascent soul cultivator? His combat strength is very powerful. The group of people followed excitedly. One was akin to a dragon while the other was a fierce snake. It would soon be clear who was stronger. If Luo Kai could win, this person probably wouldn't dare to be too arrogant in the future. If he lost, they would suffer in the future. Song Shi came outside and saw that Luochi's eyes were red and his aura was strange. There was a faint sense of oppression. He looked thoughtful. This fellow should also have a special bloodline.